right, Watchaholics, we are back for episode 6 of The Bachelor, Joey's wonderful season, which, my God, this episode, Sir Joey is spiraling. More than I think I've ever seen a Bachelor spiral, and it's actually very interesting to see. We had some really wonderful one-on-ones on this date. I think I really, really enjoyed this episode because it was so drama-free. And everyone now who is left it's going to be a hard choice for Joey here. I really do not know who's going to be a winner. I know a lot of people are really thinking Kelsey A and Daisy will be top 2. I really do see the Kelsey A and Daisy connection, so I do kind of agree there. But I don't know. There's a lot of really good connections on this episode. So let's get straight into it. So guys, this episode starts off with Maria. In the future, here we are seeing Maria gets a one-on-one with Joey, which I was really, really happy to see Maria and Joey be able to just have a regular date without drama, without all this crap. Like, it was just so nice to see them together. And I'm not gonna lie, I was smiling the whole time they were together. Like, we'll get into the date later, but I love Maria. Like, I've learned to really, really, like, just love her, and I just wish her the best. But basically, it shows basically everyone's now in Montreal, Canada. Woohoo, we're in Canada. And Joey is struggling. Like I was saying, he is struggling because he is saying he is falling for multiple women. And he is scared that at one point, he's going to tell someone that he loves them and they're not going to reciprocate it. Basically, he's got a lot of trauma from charity season.
Emotional damage.
Says that he's not perfect, but he's always been his worst self-critic, and that he just has this feeling that it isn't going to work out, and he is spiraling hard. And the crazy thing is that I know they're really, really they're really kind of really showcasing the fact that he keeps saying it's not going to work out, because they're really trying to mirror the end of the season. We keep seeing that they keep showing that preview of him like crying at the altar, and it's a van going away and he's like crying. So I think they're really trying to push the narrative that he doesn't end up with someone, so that way it could be like a twist that he does. I don't know if you do kind of see that. I kind of just felt that watching this episode, that they kept kind of like wanting to foreshadow that maybe he will end up alone, and I hope he doesn't. I really don't, because I like Joey. Even though a lot of people have been saying, and I was listening to Nick Viall's podcast the other day about how he feels that like they haven't really been showcasing a lot about who Joey is. You're kind of just learning more about the women than you are about Joey. It's like, well, why is he spiraling? Why does he feel this way about himself? I feel like none of the women ask him questions about him, and it's mostly just them kind of just talking about their lives and about them and their traumas and why they are the perfect people for them, and I do agree. I do wish that the women kind of asked more questions about Joey and him, and I feel like that doesn't happen. I feel like The Bachelor just kind of sits there and listens to the women, and I do wish that they kind of changed that. I do agree. But as we continue on the episode, again, the women are in Montreal. They're walking around. We find out that Jesse Palmer is Canadian. I had no idea. He starts speaking French and saying all these French things, and the girls are like, I have no idea what you're saying. We find out that they're actually going to be doing a group date first, and then there's going to be 2 one-on-ones. So Jesse tells them, like, hey, I'm going to tell you right now who's in the group date, and if your name is not said, that means you have the one-on-one. We basically find out that Maria and Kelsey T are going to be getting one-on-ones. I was very excited for these because I was really looking forward to seeing about this connection with Kelsey T and also with Maria. So I was very, very excited. But until then they're going to be doing a group date scavenger hunt to find Joey. And then also they kind of do that with Joey as well as the date goes on. But again, it just keeps going back and forth between Joey just continuing to say he's having a hard time expressing his feelings, and he's asking all the women to do that, and he feels that he should be able to do that too, but he's having a lot of hard time doing it. Basically, the guy is spiraling because he is scared to be rejected. That is the main issue here. Clearly, it is the main issue at hand. So the girls continue to go on this date with Joey, and this date was really awkward because it was actually like a group date that was moving around. They went from place to place, and someone would give them like a card to give them a riddle to go to the next place. And they end up going to this place that's like they make poutine, they're dancing, they do a lot of different things. And on this group date, it is very, very apparent that the women are struggling because there's such little women left, and the women that are there, each one has their own connection with Joey, and the other girls have to see him connect with these other women, and it's really starting to dawn on them how hard it is on them and how hard it is going to be on Joey to pick somebody. You really see Kelsey A just struggling a lot. I felt so bad for Kelsey A because I think she really just is. I love her. She's so sweet. I do think she makes it very far, and if not, she does win. I do kind of see that connection that they have, but we also see that a lot of the girls are not complaining, but feeling that they just aren't getting the attention that they want. They're feeling lost in the shadows. Specifically, Jess really starts to spiral during this date, and I didn't feel even a little bit bad for her. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm such a horrible person, but I'm just like, listen, y'all were causing drama, and I know you didn't have a connection, and I know it sucks for that person. I know being in that part must be the worst when you like someone and you don't know if that person likes you back, but I'm just not a fan of her, so I was okay. But then we move on to the night portion of the date. We have Caitlin, who, bless her, she is so, so sweet. I love her. But I knew that this episode she was going to end up going home no matter how much she tried. I just didn't feel that Joey was like that into her. Like I feel like he liked her, like, oh, she's sweet, but not, oh my God, I want to marry her kind of vibe, right? We also have him talk to Kelsey A. Kelsey A, tells him, hey, I was struggling a lot during this date. And she tells him that she's falling for him. And he says something that was very telling because he's just like, oh, are you whispering that you're falling for me? No, I want to hear that again. I want to hear you say it. And that made me be like, ooh, he is connected to her. He is feeling her so much. He really, 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 really likes her. And he's definitely falling for her, and he just hasn't said it yet. But I am like, that little one-on-one moment they had, and then they started like heavily making out. I said, oh yeah, she is top 3 for sure. We also have a very, very interesting moment, which is Lexi talking to Joey about his timeline. And I am so happy she brought this up. Comment down below if you're happy she brought this up, because I think every other woman on this episode or this show should be asking Joey this. And obviously we all know that Lexi has a condition where it might be difficult for her to have children, and she's in her early 30s. I think she's 30 or 31, and she can't be waiting too long to have babies. So she wants to know if she's on the same page with Joey on that, and seeing, kind of picking his brain like, hey, what's your timeline? When do you want to get married? When do you want to have kids? And Joey pretty much just tells her like, yeah, it's going to be a while, because he says, oh, I want to spend 2 or 3 years engaged, and then I want to get married and spend some more time just us before we bring a child in. And that's like saying like 2 to 3 years. She's 30. 31, 32, 33. Then you want to say, oh, let's get married. Let's have a marriage for another 2 years, 34, 35. She's going to be 35 to 36 years old, and she's already somebody who has a condition that it's very hard to have children. Yeah. In her mind, she's like, fuck.
It's that time in between where he wants to wait to have children to like explore a marriage. Like, I think I need to sit and think on it and like process the conversation.
This isn't good. We are not on the same timeline. And we'll get to it, but in that moment I was so happy she brought that up, because I feel like none of the other women have brought this up. And I'm like, there's a couple of 30-year-olds in here who are probably wondering, wanting to start families. Like, is this not a conversation you want to have? I'm just glad that this was brought up, because it was very, very important. Then we also have Jen, who says that she's falling for him as well. He says that Jen makes him feel very special, especially in the little moments. A lot, you could see that throughout the episode. She did find a lot of moments to kind of, put him at the front and be like, hey, like, let's have a little moment, even with all the group dates. So, with all the other women in the group date. So I really did like that. Then we move on to Jess, who is struggling hard. Daisy is noticing it. Other women are noticing. She is crying. She's just like, I don't understand. Like, I can't stand sharing him. All this kind of stuff, right? She tells him that she's falling for him. And the moment she said it, I said, his face was dead inside. I said, yeah, please send her home.
To hear something like that, like to hear you say that you're falling for me, it makes me feel so good. The problem that I'm having is when you feel that you should be able to picture it, I don't know why, I just haven't been able to get there.
He needs to send her home because I knew in that moment, the moment she said it, his face said it all, that he did not feel the same way. And I said, please, Joey, please send her home. For her sake, just send her home. And he does. And I'm glad because no one has been sent home on a date yet. And I was looking forward to seeing this. But he says that, in the beginning, he did feel something with her. But at this point in the process, he does not feel like he could get there. I mean, the girl just told him she's falling for him. And he said, I can't get there. Bad. Oh, he feels horrible, of course, because he is thinking, what I just did to her is what I fear is going to happen to me. Again with the foreshadowing. I don't know how true this foreshadow is, but yeah. He does let her go. She doesn't even get the chance to tell anyone. He pretty much walks her out and she's crying in the car. She doesn't understand. She feels stupid and she pretty much like calls out to him and she's literally like saying like, did I do something wrong? I was like, oh, I do feel a little bit bad because when you get broken up with or that person doesn't feel the same way about you, you really wonder. It's like, is it like, what did I do? Did I scare you off? Was I too much? Like, what was it that I did? And it's not that at all. It's just he doesn't feel that way about you, and that is so unfortunate. It hurts both sides of the way. It always hurts. Then we find out that she didn't get to say bye to everyone, so no one knew. Joey goes back and everybody's like, where's Jess? Like, what the hell? And then he's like, I just sent her home. People are shocked. Some people are crying. It's a whole ordeal. In the end, Jen gets the rose. I was a little bit surprised. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was going to be Kelsey A based on the conversation they had. But maybe it's just because he felt so confident with Kelsey A. He was like, I think she's fine. I don't think she needs a reinforcement like Jen does. I don't know. I don't know what the thought is behind when you give people roses sometimes. But yeah. So then we move on to the next day, which is Kelsey T's one-on-one. Now, this one-on-one, y'all, I liked it, but I did feel that they are a little bit more far behind than other people in their relationship. I think he really likes her. I think she really likes him. I really like, she's very grounded, very quiet, she's not laid back though. That's the interesting. Like, you look at Kelsey A, and I'm like, she's laid back, but Kelsey T doesn't give me laid back vibes. She kind of just gives me more like calm vibes. I don't know. I don't know if it's the same thing, but I don't know. It's like a different vibe than laid back. I don't know if I can put my words into it, but yeah. But what they do on their date, which I think was super fun, is that they get trained to like do Cirque du Soleil stuff. And I thought it was super cool. I would love this. Joey was not good at it. Joey was getting so dizzy the whole date. They was doing all these spinnings. He said he was feeling sick. Like, it was not his date, which he was surprised was like going on. But yeah, I felt like, damn, like that. Like, yeah, that sucks. He just was not doing very good on this date, I at least at the day portion. So, see, I would have loved this date, but it was not a Joey date, which I feel like I should have asked him. But anyway, we go back to Lexi talking to Maria about how she's thinking that her and Joey might not be on the same timeline with having kids, and she needs to talk to him. And in that moment, I was like, yeah, this girl's sending herself home because she's going to know that it's just not right. And I felt it. I felt it that in that moment. I'm like, oh my God, she's the one in the video that was like saying like, we're not on the same timeline. Now, I don't know about the I need to talk card. That is still a question, which I'm wondering who's sending that. I don't know if it's Maria, but it's somebody. And I'm really, really intrigued to know that. But back to our Kelsey T date. The night portion's really nice. Of course, more, not trauma dumping, but more like, this is a very hard part of my life. Basically, you find out that Kelsey T doesn't have a good relationship with her dad because he wanted her to stay really religious. Now, I'm not going to lie. I really wanted to know more as to what she meant by religious. I'm like, is he Muslim? Is he a Jehovah's Witness? Like, what did she mean by wanted her to stay in the religion and stay religious, and she didn't want to be? And because of that, she ended up living with her mom, and he stopped talking to her. So she said she used to have a really wonderful relationship with her dad. They were very close, but because she decided to go to college, and she didn't want to be religious or stay in the religion. I don't know. It kind of gives me like it might be like a Jehovah's Witness kind of vibe, maybe. And she just didn't want to, and he just stopped talking to her. And because of that, she has trouble. How do you say? She has trouble trusting men, because she says, how is it possible that someone who I trusted and was always there for me one day just dropped it and said, I can't be here for you anymore, and just disappeared. So she has a lot of trust issues. And I think that's why she's very kind of quiet and keeps to herself. And it is going to be hard for her to open up. And I think that is why we're not seeing the relationship progress as much as it can be. In the end, he does still give her the rose, though. But like I said, I don't think she's as far as the other women. Like, there's some other women that I think are just on a much higher level right now, or farther along, really, is what I want to say, in their feelings for Joey and vice versa. She doesn't tell him that she's falling for him or anything like that. So, yeah. Then we have Maria's one-on-one, where she gets picked up with a limo, and they're just so fun in the car. It's just such a different vibe between her and like everybody else. Like, such a different vibe. They're like joking in the car. She's making her laugh. Like, she's so fun and different than everybody else, which I think is a really nice comparison, like a nice counterpart to Joey, who's much more chill. I really liked it. And it was also cool because she got the date that gets to go shopping. He gets to see her get dressed up and pick the dress for her for that evening, because in that evening they're going to be going on a helicopter ride. Oh, don't we love why do they love helicopter rides on The Bachelor? Like, I don't understand. I do not like helicopters, not even a little bit. I never want to be on one. I've always said this on the channel. I just have a thing about helicopters, and I just never ever want to be in one. I don't. But they have a fun time again in the car. Just so cute and sweet and just fun. Just so fun. Then we have the dinner portion, which again, I think they both felt very good about how they feel in this moment about each other. She says that she opens up to him about the kind of person she wants to be with. She's like, I was with someone who could see maybe getting married in the future, and I really wanted to get married now, and it just like he wasn't sure, and I decided to leave that relationship. I said, girl, bless you. She wants to be with someone who means what they say, and not just someone who's just like saying something for doing it but nothing actually happening. She does admit to him that she is falling for him in ways that she never expected, and it was very sweet. I think Joey really liked it. They dance, she's like crying, and he says that he feels that he could see her in their future, and he does in the end give her a rose. And I absolutely agree. I do see a future with them. I do think they would be a really good couple, because she would challenge him, I think, and I think she would also really bring out the more fun side of Joey instead of it being so like too much laid back. I don't know. I do really like her for him. Now, the only reason why I don't know if she makes it much farther, I don't know, I really don't know, is because those previews are really effing with me, where they're saying that she's like, I don't know if I could do this anymore, and I don't know. It's just kind of giving me that vibe. I really don't know kind of thing. But then we move to the most dramatic part of this episode, which is Lexi deciding to go talk to Joey about, how she feels about their timeline. And she goes to his room, they sit down, and she tells him that she needs to move at a quicker pace because of her situation and her condition.
As someone who has infertility, like, I have to take that really seriously as I date, knowing I'm in my 30s now, and that's just something that is gonna have to happen probably at a little bit of a faster pace for me, and be unfair to keep me here when like I'm just on a different timeline.
And I said, oh, Lexi. I fell for her because I really liked Lexi, and Lexi was in my top 4, so I was pretty shooketh that she sent herself home, or that she went home really at this point, because before today I didn't think that until the moment she said, I should talk to Joey about this. I said, uh-oh. This is bad. But she said it wouldn't be fair to him, and I agree. It's not fair to him to pressure him to be like, hey, you need to have kids with me now, because if not, like, that's it kind of thing. He continues to say that he couldn't believe that, things had to be dropped between them, because he really did see something with her, and he feels very bad. And I'm not going to lie, guys, I actually shed a tear. When she left. I was like, why am I crying? Well, why, Bachelor? Why are you making me cry? Why is this happening? I don't know. I really don't know. Why is this happening? So I felt really sad that she left. I think it's because I really liked her, and the reason why she left was very sad. But I was thinking about it, and I was talking to one of my friends about this as well. But in the moment, though, when she told him that she was going to leave, he didn't fight for her. He wasn't like, no, like, I want you to stay. Like, we can work it out. Let's talk. No, he kind of was just like, darn, like, I really was hoping to spend another week with you so we could talk about it a little bit more. But here's the door. Can I walk you out? And I'm like, oh, like, sir, it was obvious that, like, you had a connection with her, but not strong enough to be like, no, I need you to stay. Like, I want us to continue to work this out. Like, I want to try to talk it out, see what we can do. He was okay to let her go. In the end, he was okay to let her go. And in that moment, I was like, yeah, he has stronger connections. That right there was proof. Because if not, he would have begged her to stay, and he didn't. So we lost Jess, and we lost Lexi before the cocktail party. So we have the cocktail party. In the cocktail party, we'll just go overview it. Daisy gets her feet rubbed. He really likes her. We already know she's going to get a one-on-one the next episode for sure. We have Jen, who teaches him piano in front of everyone else in the cocktail party, and everybody feels really awkward that they're watching him connect with some other people. You have Rachel, who decides to give Joey some self-love and some compliments because he does go into the rose ceremony saying, or the cocktail part saying, like, this has been very difficult for me. I'm really struggling, etc. So she tries to, like, lighten up the mood for him, which I thought was very cute. I really, really like Rachel. I hope she makes it far. I hope she makes it to hometowns. I just really love her energy as well. I really, really like her. So let's crossing our fingers here. Then we go into the rose ceremony where there are only 3 roses left. And in this moment, I was like, all right, well, this is easy. I already know Caitlin's leaving, and so is Leia, which, thank God, all the drama is gone. They have left the building because, not Caitlin, but we lost Jess, and now we're losing Leia, which we're causing so much drama last episode for no darn reason. But yeah, that's basically what ends up happening. Rachel, the order is Daisy, Kelsey A, and then Rachel. So goodbye to Caitlin and Leia. I'm going to miss Caitlin. She was lovely. She did say, I feel like I wasn't given the right space to really get to know him and for him to get to know me much better. Leia says it's his loss, but I do wish him the best, blah, 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 blah. Now we're going into our next preview, guys, for episode 7, which, my God, it's the top 6. It's getting very, very hard here. They're going to Jasper, Canada, which is absolutely beautiful. I have been. It is beautiful place. It's absolutely beautiful. Joey is very worried throughout this episode. You do see that Daisy does get a one-on-one. I think somebody else, but I can't tell. Based on, it looks like it's Jen, but I can't tell. But Daisy definitely gets a one-on-one, and there's this, like, dramatic thing, which I hope to God that they are just editing it and making it seem worse than it is. But you have Daisy on the one-on-one, and she basically says, like, I'm not there yet, and then you see her in a side comment saying, I'm not gonna tell him I'm in love with him just to get a rose. And I'm like, oh God. Is this editing? Like, is this editing? Please, I don't know. I hope it's editing. Obviously, we have more of Joey saying that thing about, like, imagining walking down the aisle and not being sure if this person would say yes or no to you. He is panicking. The guy is struggling, and I'm not going to lie, these next couple of episodes for him are going to be very, very difficult. I don't know who's going to be going home next. Like, it's some really good women now, and I'm going to feel really, really bad for any other women that goes home next episode, because I believe this next episode will be the last one, will be the one before hometowns, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, guys, what did you think of this episode? Let me know in a comment below. Were you sad to see Lexi go? How did you feel about the whole Jess, the way he let Jess go? Let me know in a comment below, because, my God, this is getting really tight. Who do you think are going to be his top 3 or for hometowns? Let me know. I really want us to chat about it down in the comments. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, if I brought you value, please click that like button. It really helps me, helps out this channel. And, of course, if you're not subscribed, click that subscribe button so you know the next time that I post a video. And, of course, click that little notification bell so you'll definitely not miss out on that video. But, of course, if you don't do it, then I'm just going to be really, really mad at you, and I might just disown you from this channel. I'm just kidding, guys. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Man, I cannot believe that I freaking cried watching Lexi go. Like, what is life? Crying over somebody. Crying. I felt so bad when she left. I really liked Lexi, though. I did.